Interwebkaiju here. This is a Dragon Ball Z Spirit Bomb drink. Nah, it's alright. And this is Princess from the Moon. After losing the life of a daughter, a man finds a new baby in the forest. The baby then rapidly grows into a small child before even reaching their house. The man's wife creepily decides to keep the child and name her Kaya after their deceased daughter. Kaya starts to show powers in both healing herself and other organisms. Suddenly, she grows again, this time becoming an adult. Her new appearance enamors men throughout the village and causes her to receive 3 marriage proposals from wealthy noblemen. To prove their love, she sends them each on a quest for a seemingly impossible object, one of them being the head of a dragon. We'll never get to see that 70s Hammer, Toho, Loch Ness effort, but this is pretty close. Even with all the fog and reused clips of the monster, this part is pretty good, and by far the best part of the film. The monster itself looks fine, though detail on the monster is either minimal or blocked by other effects. The movie does a great job showing the scale of the proposed creature, and I really like the movement of the neck in the water. At times, the movie has some cool cuts like this. Some of the effects are good. I particularly like the tractor beam scene. For the most part, the movie is well made and acted. The spaceship design is cool, and much more imaginative than the spaceships Toho gave us in the early Godzilla films. The lighting is good throughout the film, though maybe they overdid it on making the spaceship blindingly bright. Although I'm pretty sure this is what the filmmakers wanted, as there are scenes of civilians being blinded as well, so at least it's not just the viewers? The new child, Kaya, looks really creepy, so if that's what the filmmakers were going for, they definitely nailed it. The whole movie has sort of an eerie feeling to it. It's not scary, just everything seems a little off, from the pacing, the weird acting, and the background music. After she grows up, Kaya doesn't really have any powers anymore, outside of being able to hear voices from her crystal ball and men having an extreme attraction to her. Though that may not be a power, and just that in the narrative she's supposed to be a beauty compared to everyone else. At times, the movie switches to this unsteady lower quality camera. There's a severe lack of sound effects and music in the first half, and in the second half, when there are effects, most notably dramatic cues, they're way too loud against the film's otherwise pretty quiet dialogue and setting. The movie is really slow. The sword fight and monster scene are nice breaks, but for the most part the film would be unbearable without being as mysterious as it is. The main reason I kept watching was to see where the story was going, because honestly I had no clue. Outside of that, the characters are boring, all their interpersonal relationships are bland. Half of the movie deals with Kaya and her suitors, but the romance aspect of the film is, well, barely there. None of the actors have chemistry. Something to note, I never felt sad while watching this. Not when the parents were grieving the death of the unknown to the viewer original Kaya, not when her suitors were sent to jail, not when characters seemingly died, and not when the titular character left her family and acquaintances on Earth. The whole from the moon thing, outside of bringing mystery to the story, doesn't really come into play fully until the finale, where a giant spaceship comes to take Kaya away from Earth. I do enjoy the nice juxtaposition of primitive and futuristic elements, but it's really weird considering how the rest of the movie is presented. Sure, there's some strange stuff in the film, monsters, crystal balls, but they're done pretty low-key, and then the spaceship scene is just kind of madness. To give it some positive feedback, it does make the movie a lot more memorable. So that was Princess from the Moon. I kind of want to recommend it for at least one viewing because, I don't know, it's memorable. And the monster scene's pretty cool, but it's short, and at the same time I kind of don't want to recommend it because a lot of the time I was like, why am I still watching this? But yeah, I'll recommend it for at least one viewing. If you have any movies you would like me to review or TV shows, leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.
You